You know he's an act like a comedian, right?
Right. Oh, he is. Yes, I heard he is. Hey, everyone. That music is still playing, but we are streaming live today. I'm so excited, and welcome to my show, Rebecca Berman's The Cooler. And I have my trusty little cooler here with all kinds of funny improvisational objects and games in it to talk to my different guests about. And today's show has an insane lineup. First of all, I want to introduce my guest co-host, Suave Martinez. He is an international recording artist.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much for being here.
I'm happy to be here.
It's amazing. Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
So he's an old friend of my show.
Yep.
And I have a bunch of other people that we're going to be Skyping in with today. One of them is Sergeant Bobby Henline. And we will hear all about his story when he comes on, right after Suave and I have a little conversation. And that was my dancing to Suave-style music. And also we have an actress, model, Tracy Birdsall, with us today. And can't wait to Skype in with her all the way from Malibu, California. And she's blonde, of course, you know, like what else? And we also have another actor, writer, producer, director, and teacher, Miles Dolock. And I can't wait to talk to Miles. He is such an interesting story, and I can't wait to hear all about the things that he will tell us about, which have to do with ancient things, in addition to all his acting work. But in the meantime, I'm sure you guys are wondering why I am wearing this today. So me and my fringe are a little reminiscent of my days in college. And when I put this on today, I thought to myself, oh my God, I can't believe I'm wearing fringe again. Because the last time I wore fringe, they were white boots. Suave, you might appreciate this.
Yes, absolutely.
They were white boots in the 80s with fringe.
Totally get it.
And somehow somebody made a comment to me, some guy made some rude comment, and I then, of course, in my fashionable drunk self, I wasn't really drunk, but in my pissed off self, I should say, I threw a drink on him. I think that started a whole brawl. And so I don't want to get in a fight with anyone today because I'm wearing fringe, so hopefully we won't be reliving the 80s again.
And they basically saw the fringes as they were crawling out of the fight, and all you saw was the fringes on the side.
Right, exactly. That's exactly it.
Good.
And I'm really also protecting the innocent in the story by not mentioning who else was involved in the fight.
Probably friends of yours.
Probably. Yeah. And I think they might still be friends of mine today, I hope.
Hopefully.
So Suave, that's my friend's story. How did you watch the game last night?
Oh my
March
God.
Madness.
It was absolute. First of all, whoever didn't watch it, you don't even understand what you missed. It was probably, it's going down as the greatest NCAA basketball game of all time. I mean, unbelievable.
How come?
Villanova versus North Carolina.
Tar Heels.
Unbelievable.
Woo!
Like,
I was rooting for the Tar Heels.
I know. And
after Syracuse was out, you know, my daughter's in school in North Carolina.
I was hoping Syracuse was going to pull it off, but it didn't work out. And
no.
So, you know, North Carolina, I was kind of totally going for Michael Jordan's old team, and he was there in the audience, totally giving so much support to the team. But here's how it ended up. Turned out the last 5 minutes of the game, Villanova was down 10 points, and they overcame probably one of the biggest, you know, deficits ever to come back from a tourney.
Because the last, when Syracuse played Oklahoma, they were down like 10 to 15 points the whole game, and they never were able to come back. So that was like a real shocker that they came back.
That kid Marcus Page on North Carolina, he was just absolutely killing it. He brings the team, helps the team get back, and right down to 13 seconds before the game is over, Marcus Page gets the ball. Some insanely shot. He just completely threw it up, looking to draw the foul. Didn't draw the foul, but the three-pointer went in, and the entire crowd lost their mind because they tied it up. They finally tied up, and they were under the impression as long as they can get into overtime, there was no shot that Villanova was going to win. And so he got him into overtime. You see Michael Jordan on the sideline going absolutely crazy. The entire room is electricity like you wouldn't believe. And all the minds of the world, North Carolina was going to pull this off, because if they got into overtime, they were going to win it.
Right.
So Then with 4.3 seconds left.
Okay, there are no sports fans watching. Nobody cares.
No.
Okay, we're on to the next. No, I'm just teasing
This
you.
guy, Chris Jenkins.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, he took the broom.
Right.
You know, like there's a little broom on the floor. You gotta.
Right.
If somebody spills like sweat or nastiness on the floor, they gotta
Right.
clean it up so you don't slip on it.
Yeah, and who does that?
This little kid does it, but
Okay.
one of the players grabbed it and he
Right.
said, "This is exactly where I'm gonna have to post up and set the screen, and I don't want anybody to slip and mess up."
Right.
So he grabbed it and started cleaning it for the kid.
Yeah.
And
Oh my
it was
God.
unbelievable. So 4.3
crazy.
seconds left. They bring the ball in. Perfect pick.
Right.
Jenkins gets the ball probably about 5 feet behind.
Right.
You know, the foul, not the foul, on the 3-point shot.
Right.
Takes the shot with no time on the clock. Boom, and it's over.
Oh my God.
Villanova wins.
The crowds were
Greatest-
going crazy.
Unbelievable.
And what now? Did you wish you were there, like singing the national anthem or something like that?
That'd be my dream. That'd be awesome. If you're watching anybody from, doesn't matter what stadium at this point. Just bring Suave in. I'll do the national anthem. But
Right.
dream would be Miami Dolphins. I want to do the
Okay.
Miami Dolphins.
All right. Well, maybe
National
we'll get one of those guys on the
Yeah.
show. You can show them what you've
Absolutely.
got, and And Suave, where are you performing these days?
Everywhere. I've been doing shows everywhere. I got a lot of new big things coming.
Right.
Working on a release that's going to be real soon. Just did a remake of a George Michael anthem.
Oh, fun! I love George
It's a really
Michael.
good song,
He is
yeah.
my favorite. That's awesome. Are you giving away what song it is, or no?
I'll just give you a hint that it seems like everything she wants is everything she needs.
Oh, okay. I think that was a good hint. Key it, John. No, he won't know. He'll have absolutely no idea because we didn't set him up. I'm just kidding. Okay, so I think that we're ready to Skype in with Sergeant Bobby Henline. Is that a possibility? Could we get Bobby on the line now? Hi, Bobby.
Bobby.
How are you?
Oh, great, thank you.
We are so excited to have you on the show today and share in the celebration of your life. And it has been 9 years, I understand, since you were out in the Gulf.
Yes, it's been 9 years on this Thursday. It will be 9 years exactly on April 7th.
Wow.
Wow, that is pretty amazing. I have something for you in my cooler. I know you're not here with us in the audience, but I think you'll appreciate it. So let me go get it for us.
Every burn guy loves, to be cooler, so.
Okay.
I got to tell you, Bobby, one of the things I love is your sense of humor. It's unbelievable. I've watched you on YouTube, and I've taken some time just to watch your comedy skits, and you're really amazing.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to be pulling out of the cooler. Okay, I'm not on camera. Oh, hello. Can we get the cooler on camera? I don't know if we can. It might not. There we go. All right. So, Bobby, this is to you and your life.
That's awesome.
We are toasting you for all the miracles that you have been witnessing over the last 9 years.
I'm gonna do that for you.
And I'm going to have Suave open this for us.
By the way, this is not Suave wine. If you're watching the Suave Bowler people, I'm looking for a sponsorship from Suave Wine.
Oh, you are? Okay. Well, we'll make sure they'll be watching. Okay. And Bobby, I hope that you can see what we're doing here. We have some champagne to celebrate your life.
It's kind of unfair that you're not here to drink some of it.
We'll have a little bit for you, but we also have a guest. Woo! Woohoo! All right.
All right.
And we also have a guest, Bobby, who wants to come say hello to you. Her name is Robin Mitchell. And I'm going to have Robin come right around here. And you can come say hi to Bobby. And I think you can, there we go. And this is Robin.
Hi, Robin.
Hi, Bobby. How you doing?
Doing great, thank you.
You are such an inspiration. My husband is 100% service connected, and I gotta tell you, I've seen you skydiving, and
Oh, that's awesome that Bobby skydives.
I think you was.
That is amazing. And you know what, Robin? We're going to give you this toast and to toast with us and Bobby.
your
Here's
life.
to you and your life and your continued success.
And Robin, to your husband.
And to Robin and to your husband and to Bobby, to you and your continued success and your comedy. which I understand you are. Oh, there we go.
Some more.
I gotta come to one of your shows. I gotta check you out.
Bob,
Where are you performing soon? Where's your next?
Next, I'll be out in Colorado in Castle Rock for the Danny Dietz Foundation, opening up for Charlie's Daniels on the 13th.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Charlie Daniels. Wow, that's awesome.
That is great. What is your comedy like? Can you give us like a little overview? You don't have to do any shtick, just like a little.
I'm more of a self-deprecating comic, you know.
Okay.
I make fun of what it's like to be burned. That type of stuff. It's hard for some people to laugh at first. You know, I have to find ways to.
Right.
Oh, it's okay and everything.
Right. Well, it's pretty amazing. And I just want to thank Robin again for coming on camera and saying hello to you.
And congratulations on 9 years.
God bless you.
You know, after you become a disabled vet and you come back, it's a new life. You got a second life.
Right. That's exactly, and it sounds like that's what Bobby does with his life. Is he's giving himself.
Absolutely.
Bobby, were you a comedian prior to going to the Gulf?
I always thought I was funny, but I don't think everybody else did.
Well, I've watched it. I was dying. I was like, wow, this guy absolutely loves life. Because anybody who can speak about, like you said, just things that you went through and put some humor into it, cheers to you, man. It's a great job, and thank you for being such an inspiration to so many people.
Thanks, and Robin, thank you for coming on camera. I know you're
Rebecca,
welcome
for inviting me.
Oh,
Thank you for letting
you're
me say
welcome.
hello to Bobby.
You're welcome.
I've
so
watched
glad.
your story for several years now, and I really thank you for
You're
letting
absolutely.
me say hello to you.
You're absolutely welcome, and I have to just give you one of my cooler cookies, Bobby.
thank
Again,
you.
I would give you one if you were here. I might have to send you some. They're chocolate-covered
you.
Oreos. A girlfriend of mine makes them. So, thank you so much, Robin.
Thank you, Bobby.
And Bobby, so tell us a little bit, about yourself over these last 9 years, and maybe do you have I feel like you must have like some kind of comedic story to tell us based on that. You're really trying to, you're in the comedian scene, I should say.
Yeah, the first year was probably the hardest year of just dealing with survivor's guilt and trying to deal with that. And what I would do is just use my sense of humor. My thing in life was always to kind of make fun of myself and situations. And I think most military people are like that, to deal with what we got to deal with in our life.
Right.
And so in the hospital, I'd make jokes to the staff, jokes to the family to let them know I was okay. I was going to be all right, still me.
Right.
Survivor's guilt was huge. For the first year, I actually prayed every night that God would just take me. That I felt useless. I felt I could burn my family. That'd be easier for them if I didn't make it. If I had just been done with. But I started thinking more after that first year about if I was one of the guys that didn't make it home. If I was the only survivor out of 5 guys in a Humvee that day, and if I didn't make it home, what would I want for the guy who did?
Right.
I'd want them to live their life to the fullest, to continue to serve if that's what they want to do, or just be there for their family and enjoy that alone.
Bobby, it's pretty amazing that you were able to allow yourself to think like that.
Yeah.
Because I would assume that's a near impossible way to look at life after what you had gone through. But it's pretty amazing what you've done for our country, and how you've embraced who you are today, and how you've taken it on the road and made people laugh.
Hey, Bobby, I have a question for you. What would you say your greatest moment since this all happened has been up to today?
The greatest moment was becoming a grandfather. You can't beat that.
Wow.
9 years ago, never thought I'd be around to see my granddaughter. Now she's 18 months old, and
wow,
that's just precious that I'm still here to enjoy that.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome. I agree.
I agree totally.
And I do hear from watching different morning shows that being a grandparent is one of the best things, better than being a parent, because you don't have any responsibility and you just have all of the fun.
And you give them back.
Exactly. And you got to come up with that cool name. You want to be called Papa. Or
right. So what name did you come up with?
Burnt Paw.
How did you get? You're very funny. All right, I got it.
He's the best. He's the best.
And something else that I wanted to ask you about, Bobby, I partook in a Habitat for Humanity day in up here in New York in Yonkers, and Habitat for Humanity was building homes for returning veterans. And it really was an incredible, incredible thing to be involved in and to be able to interview all the different people involved, from the veterans to the Habitat for Humanity director to the different people who just take out of their day out of their life to come and help build homes. And that really was something that connected me to the veterans and to everything that you guys and women come home to after you're out there fighting for our country. And, having you come on the show today meant a lot to me because of that experience that I had and that insight I had into the life of a veteran. Again, it's miraculous. You are absolutely right that you were here to do good and make people smile. And that is why you came back from what happened to you out there.
I believe God truly blessed me and gave me the strength and courage to do what I do today.
Yep.
And so it's the best revenge I can get. Mm-hmm. Help more people than that guy hurt that day.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
That's the best revenge.
I agree with you. And so I know you had said where you were going to be performing. Do you travel around and do this, or do you, is it near where you live, or how do you take on your shows?
Yeah, no, I travel. People will contact me through my website, bobbyhenline.com, or I'll get Facebook messages. And it's just word of mouth of what I'm doing. And I help a lot of different nonprofits.
Right.
I help military raise money, the Lone Survivor Foundation, Danny Deeds, Chris Kyle's family. I've done it all.
Have you been to the Gulf War since, to the war that we just recently came out of? Were you there speaking to the troops and keeping them entertained?
Yes, I've gone back actually 3 times now. I've gone to Iraq, Kuwait, and Afghanistan doing stand-up comedy and visiting the troops.
They must have loved that. How were you received? What were people like?
It's one of the best. They have that sick sense of humor just like me. And there's other jokes that only they'll get that I can use there with the military.
Yeah.
Right.
In that situation. So it's a win-win for both of us. It's healing for me, and it's really healing for them to see someone that's been through what I've been through to come back.
Right.
You're doing the right thing, we're going to get there.
Right. No, that's pretty amazing.
One of the coolest things I think of when I hear your story is listening to you say, even after everything, that you loved your job and that you would do it again.
I would definitely do it again. I wish I could get out there. Unfortunately, I can't deal with the heat as well these days.
Is that a joke?
I wasn't sure if I should laugh on that one, Bobby.
Bobby, what inspired you to protect our country to begin with?
Well, originally I went in, I was 17 years old. I was actually in the first Gulf War. Mm-hmm. My uncle talked me into it. He said, hey, let's go in the Army together. And that's how I originally went in. I did 3 years, got out in 92. I was out for 10 years. Mm-hmm. When 9/11 happened, I was 30 years old, and I knew I needed to go back in.
And that's when it all happened.
Right. So when I went back in, I did 3 more tours to Iraq.
Right. Well, thank you so much for your service and for being able to inspire all the veterans who have done just what you've done for this country. It's really pretty amazing, and you should be really proud of yourself that you were able to see a whole other world after you came home.
Yeah, it's amazing. You go through something like this, you think you're just useless and you don't realize what you can do.
Right.
But there's always a light there.
Right.
Brighter side that you can see.
Well, so I understand that can people get involved in helping you celebrate your life? Is there any place people can go to do that on social media?
Yeah, you come and just say hello on any of the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to raise money right now.
Okay.
A Biggie's Burger joint.
Okay.
There's only one in the States. It's in California, San Clemente.
Okay.
It's owned by a Korean war vet.
Okay.
I started a GoFundMe, the Purple Heart recipient's dream. And my dream is to open one of my own Biggies here in San Antonio.
Wow.
Great. That's
and then,
awesome.
Instead of a franchise, it's a partnership.
Okay.
I'm going to take 3% of my earnings and put it into a account. And then when that account grows, we're going to give another veteran that money so they can open a
Wow.
That is amazing.
Wow.
So it's a real pay it
Pay it
forward.
forward type of a business, right?
Yes.
That's awesome, Bobby.
I just want to hire a veteran to be my manager.
Right.
San Antonio, what a beautiful city.
Get a piece.
Right. So the whole restaurant, concept has to do with hiring veterans. Are they going to be the waiters and waitresses, the wait staff, run the front of house, all of that? Is that the plan?
The plan is to hire is definitely a manager and as many as I can. I mean,
Right.
a lot of veterans aren't going to want to work for $8 an hour, so
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
you're going to need the high school kids to help out too. But it's
Yeah.
great.
Right.
You have high school kids who work with the veterans.
Yes. No, that's amazing because it really brings everyone into one community and have one understanding.
And you live in Texas now, right?
Yeah, I'm in San Antonio.
It's a beautiful city, beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful city. I've been
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Because the hospital's here. That's why I've
Yes,
been here 9
yes.
years now.
Yes.
Well, Bobby, I love that you were here today to share your story and to tell us about the restaurant and how people can find out how to get involved. If there's anything else that you want to let us know about today, any joke you want to leave us with, we're happy to hear it. Any new material you have?
I don't know if you noticed I have a beautiful smile, and it's been fixed because I used to have what they call blue teeth. One blew that way and one blew that way.
All right, that's a good one. I like that.
Love it.
That is a good joke.
And that's a great smile, by the way, Bobby. I just want to let you know I noticed that right away. Great smile.
It is really a pretty amazing day to have met you and have you on the show.
I agree
And have
totally.
Suave here as well for the three of us. And Robin, who is out in the audience with her husband, who's a vet as well. And I just want to thank you again, Bobby, for coming on and talking to us about your life and your celebration of your life.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Thank Robin and her husband for their service. Appreciate everything.
Okay. Mwah. Thank you.
Take care, Bobby.
Okay, bye. Wow, Suave, that was
Unbelievable.
amazing.
Wow.
What an incredible life story he has.
You know, we think about people in this world who complain about things that are going on
Yep.
here and that they have problems, and then you speak to a guy like Bobby, and you understand that there's
Right, and
nothing
you
in the
know,
world you can't overcome.
and the other miraculous thing about Bobby is what I kind of said in the beginning, how he was able to just completely change his mindset and say, you know what, I'm gonna live
Move on.
and I'm going to make my life great.
Yep. Just keep it moving.
Yep. And it's amazing to have veterans' families in the audience today while we were talking to Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to thank them all for their service for protecting our country.
Amazing. You know, I got to tell you, I always have the utmost respect for anybody who's in a military uniform because it's something that it's not easy to do. I mean, I can't tell you that I would have done
Well,
it.
this was what was interesting, you know, when he was saying to us what made him want to do that. But just his uncle or his
Right.
cousin was like, hey, let's go. But you have to have something deeper than your uncle or your cousin.
Especially when
saying
the
that.
worst thing in the world just happened and you're like, let me go back now.
Right, right. Well, you do find people want to return
Yeah.
once they've been there. You know, it's a way of life that they love. It's a calling for them. And I'm sure Bobby would say the same thing. I'm sure Robin here would say the same thing about
Totally
her
get it, yeah.
husband.
Thank you, Robin.
So, yeah, thank you. And please thank your husband for his service. It really, it's incredible. It's an incredible life calling.
Totally.
And I'm glad we had the champagne to share with Bobby and with Robin. So I think we're moving on to like a totally different area.
Totally different.
And we have an actress model named Tracy Birdsall
Yes,
who's going to
absolutely.
Skype in with us from Malibu.
Blondes.
Yes, blonde. So I can't wait to meet Tracy. And I think she'll be coming on soon. Yeah, she'll be coming on
No, in
soon.
the meantime,
okay.
we could just drink this.
I know, that's true. We can. So, how about those Mets?
How
Did they
about-
start yet?
Actually, today the Yankees are opening up at 1 o'clock.
How about those
day.
Yankees?
Yeah, how about
Okay,
those
opening
Yankees?
day.
Right now, as a matter of fact, as we're here, they are actually playing right now. Right?
Right.
And are they winning?
I don't know. We'll have
Yankees are probably winning.
to. Oh, yeah. I'm sure they're always winning. Even when they're losing, they're winning.
I think it's 0-0. Okay, so right now it's 0-0.
Okay.
I think that I heard
little
something
chilly out
about
today,
it's
huh?
Absolutely. I had tickets to go, by the way.
I wore my gloves here
It was a
today.
choice of either doing this show or
No,
going to the
you ha-
Yankee. I was like,
No.
really?
Oh, really? No questions.
There's no shot. I was like, if it would have been 67 degrees, I might have considered, playing hooky
Right.
on the Rebecca Berman show. But that's
Right,
a little different.
exactly.
But I will tell you that I heard something about A-Rod. I think he
What'd you
said
hear?
that next year, 2017, is going to be his
Yeah,
final
I
year.
know. That's so sad.
Yeah.
I named my nephew A-Rod because his name is Aaron.
Yes.
So when he was really little, I was like, A-Rod was like huge then. I was like,
what's his
your
last
name
name?
is now A-Rod.
What's his last name?
My nephew's name? Hanos.
So how does that rod and the Hain? It could be a Hain.
It was just, you know what? I was like, oh, A-Rod. Okay, that sounds like a good name
Yes.
for someone whose name starts with an A.
I agree, and he probably believes it to this day.
And I think he likes the Yankees
My
too.
son, who's now 18 years old, told me that I'm cooler than Alex Rodriguez when he was 7. He
Oh,
put it-
really?
And I still have this on my wall.
Right.
Because I make curly, salty fries, and I'm cooler than Alex
Oh,
Rodriguez.
curly, salty fries. I
Yeah.
like that. So what do we think about getting, okay, Tracy might be coming on now. Hey,
Ooh.
Tracy, how
Hey,
are
Tracy.
you? Tracy
Hello.
Birdsall, model and actress, correct?
Yes.
And I won't call you a singer, right?
Well, I sang for years. I
You
really
did?
did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
But
I was
not anymore.
I was dying to meet you with your gorgeous blonde hair and that you live in Malibu. That was very inspiring. It's a day of inspiration. So, and here we are in freezing cold New York, just thinking of like how warm it must be there in Malibu.
I'm in a tank top and shorts, so yeah. It's like,
Yeah, so that
We're
gives us
jealous.
a pretty good indication. So, Tracy, I mean, I'm meeting you for the first time, and I just want to introduce you to Suave Martinez as well. So
How are you,
guys
Tracy?
can chit chat and say hello.
How's the weather over there?
it's gorgeous. I can actually see the ocean from here.
Oh my God, that's so nice.
unfair.
Well, it's like 72 outside.
Oh man. Okay. So we
It
are.
feels like we can invert the numbers and it'll be the same over here. Closer to
Yes.
27 than it is to 72.
Sorry.
So Tracy, we're gonna have a drink for you here in the studio. Here we go. We'll have
Do you have a drink there?
I have hibiscus tea.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
As long
That's
as you-
the problem. And
as long
I'm
as
not
there's
drinking
something in it.
hibiscus tea.
Cheers.
Tracy, so you've been in so many movies and TV shows, and one of my favorite movies that I had seen was Casino,
I love that movie.
and that's an awesome movie. That must have been a great set to be on and work with all those actors that were on that.
All the sets are great. I think it's just like I always have these iconic people that I work with that I remember and I befriend. You know what I mean? And it's
Right.
like everything is such a great experience, and that's kind of how my life kind of feels. It's like I live my life and I enjoy everything that I do, and I work as hard as I can, and I love people. So anytime I get to work on a new set with new amazing people, it's fantastic.
And
That's what we work for.
And I have to bring you back to my Fringe days and a piece of work that you've done.
I have a jacket like that, actually.
You do? Oh my God, can you get it out and we can be twins? I'll be the brunette with the fringe and you can be the blonde. Okay, but seriously though, I'm literally going back in the old days, and I understand you were on a Sunkist Good Vibrations commercial.
I was on several of them. That was my very first commercial, and it's actually on my YouTube because I did an interview once. And I said, I haven't seen these things. I was a teenager, and they actually found them as a sponsor.
Wow.
And then all those commercials reemerged, and I was like, oh my God, that's so fun.
Yeah, that is a lot of fun. I remember those commercials were always like, you watch it and you're just like singing along and happy and drinking your Sunkist. I used to love orange soda.
So did I, and I had cases of it. They would send me cases of that and the orange T-shirts. Like I gave them to everybody. It was really fun.
That's
So
great.
Tracy, I remember back in the day when I was, I don't like to admit it, but I was a fan of General Hospital and All My Children. And I understand that you were on that show. When was this?
Yes.
Who did
No,
you play?
I was on Young and the Restless a couple of years ago, and I was on Loving.
Oh,
I was, and that was actually in your neck of the woods. That was a New York-based
Yeah,
stuff.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So did you used to have to? Did you live in New York to film that, or?
I did, but I did a lot of print work too, so I kind of found a cheap way to do it where I lived in a model house.
Oh,
Right.
that's
I
awesome.
would go shoot, and then on my days off, I would then go do print work because I was with Zoli at the time. So I was a single mom, so you have to think outside the box.
Yeah.
So I
Right.
was always thinking outside the box.
Right. And how is it? Are your kids into acting also? I know you have a few kids as well.
I do. Well, my son is actually in the opening scene of Rogue Warrior Robot Fighter, which is kind of cool.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Wow.
And
That
he's
is
done
great.
some press on it and stuff too, but he was just exactly the look that the director was looking for this opening scene. So that was pretty fun because he grew up. He was
Yes,
he was a
right.
union member since he was
Yeah.
2.
Oh, really? Oh, so
Yeah.
what was he in? He was a mini actor.
He was in tons of commercials like Hot Wheels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it was funny because he was the opposite of me at auditions. He'd go in and we lived on the beach at the time, and he'd be like, I don't know if I feel like doing this. So
Right.
they're always giving him toys and giving him stuff and bribing him. And I'm like, how come they didn't do that with me?
Now you have 3,
I do.
and what are the ages?
Well, do I have to tell you that? Because then somebody's going to do the math.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no,
let
they
me
could
let me
be a-
explain something to Suave. No, when you have women, nobody wants to really give out their age.
No,
like
the
me,
kids' ages?
Like,
really?
for- Right, like for
Fine,
me,
there's
I have a
23, but
college-
The youngest is 19.
Okay, so
Right.
I have a 19-year-old.
Yeah?
Yeah,
you know-
19, 18.
Right, and we all have kids the same
13,
ages.
11.
But I have to tell you guys, I was probably 19 when I had my first kid. I was married in 19 because I'm really young. So,
I just turned 39.
oh, you did? Okay.
Me too. Oh my God.
See, what we really are today and how old our kids are, too, they could have been adopted. We don't have
There
to
you
be.
go. Yeah.
Right, they just
no,
kinda
I went at
show-
20 also, so I completely relate. And she was a complete surprise, and I raised her on my own. And
Wow.
but it made me work harder. You
But
know,
I
you have to-
guarantee you, when you guys go out, everyone asks you if that's your sister, right?
Well, people don't even believe that she's my daughter.
Yeah.
Like, I almost like it for shock factor because she's even taller than I am.
Oh,
Oh,
my
that's
God.
funny.
Yeah.
That's great.
Awesome. Is she an actress?
No, she grew up in the industry, like
Uh-huh.
all my kids did by default because I would drag them everywhere with me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, she doesn't do it anymore. But I think that she'd like to get back into it. She's been talking about it lately. So yeah.
And something else that you've done that's really interesting, and speaking of giving back to society and the world, really, I understand you did a mission to Haiti after.
Yeah, right after TikTok wrapped, we were in
Right.
post-production, and we get this phone call from this doctor that was a friend, and he said, they were setting bones with rebar and roof tar.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't have any food, but this is like the smaller, less accessible airports.
Right.
So a whole group of people from out here that had private planes and stuff, we all got together and flew down there, and we'd fly back and forth from Fort Lauderdale to Haiti,
Wow.
literally unload.
Wow.
We had to stop for fuel in Turks and Caicos.
That was not so bad.
I mean, did you make a day of it when you stopped there, or was it just, we stopped for the fuel and we kept going?
It took an entire day to make the flight there.
I could imagine.
Yeah.
That must have been
all
very
you did
tough,
was
that
you
part
flew
of
down
being-
there. You unloaded. And it was a little funny because I brought a video camera, and of course I wore no makeup, brought no jewelry or anything like that.
Right.
But when I showed up, the guy at the airport, he's covered in Rolexes and diamonds and everything, and it was kind of weird because I'd collected Beanie Babies for all the kids in the hospital. And I probably
that's
had a couple
awesome.
thousand of them. Yeah, and I was just thinking these kids don't even have a toy.
Right. Right.
But I showed up, and I'm like, well, I also have these Beanie Babies that I collected from all the families out here in Malibu through the Boys and Girls Club.
Right.
And he gave me this really funny look, and he says, well, they can have these, but this one's for my family. And I was just sitting there thinking,
Like,
that's
what?
so cruel.
Oh, my
It's so
God.
cruel.
That's horrible.
But you just do the best you can in life. You can't
Yes.
change what other people do.
You're right. You can only do what you can do. But I still think that's amazing that you were involved in that. And especially, just happened to be on the show today after we just spoke with Sergeant Bobby Henline about celebrating his life
Yeah.
and what he's done for our country. It's just, it's just great to hear stories like that.
I love
And-
his story. I actually researched him at length after I saw the link. And I was
Pretty-
like,
Yeah.
what a cool guy.
Yes.
Did
And
you
I
get
looked
to
at all
watch
his
any of his
pictures
skits? Did you
childhood.
get to watch any of his comedy skits?
I didn't.
You gotta
because
YouTube him. He's so
that was
funny.
What I was most interested in, even though I appreciate good humor. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a comedic actress. I love comedy.
Yeah.
Right.
But I was so taken aback by his story and what
Yeah.
happened to him and how he turned it around.
Yep.
and, you know, looked at life in such a positive way. 'Cause I'm a really positive person.
Yes, I agree with you. Hey, Tracy, what are you working on now? Like, where can people either find you or do you want people following you on any of your social media? Or have there been any projects you've been involved in that you want to talk about recently or?
Well, I have 2 films coming out simultaneously here in a couple of months. The trailer just came out for Who's Jenna, which is a huge comedy on the East Coast, and it's really funny, and I'm the lead actress in that.
Oh, cool.
And that's with Bill Sorvino and Joe D'Onofrio and Gary Pastore and Vincent Pastore, and I mean,
I know Vincent.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an
good
amazing
guy.
cast. Yeah.
Very good
and
guy.
then I have Rogue Warrior Robot Fighter here, which is a science fiction film about AI basically overtaking the world, and I'm the lead in that. And I actually only had 1 week off between those 2 films.
Wow, so you were a busy lady this year.
It's been a busy year.
Good for you. Good for you.
At the Edge of Time is going into post after this one, which we shot before Rogue Warrior, and that's another science fiction film. And then a comedy that I was in called Diary of a Fat Man is premiering in Cannes in May.
Just the name is
I love
great.
Tracy, if there's any one person that you can work with right now, you get a choice, who would that person be?
It's always been Meryl Streep.
Wow.
You know, because
I love her.
She's
I
unbelievable.
learned
She's great.
something from everybody that I work with. I mean, I take away these little gems of things. And I love telling people, they're like, oh, I love that. And I'm like, oh, I learned that from Dennis Hopper. Or, oh, I learned that from Barry Corbin.
Right.
It's just kind of fun. You're like a sponge when you work
Yes.
with actors.
Well, you know what? It's interesting to hear you say that because Suave and I have been in a couple of movies ourselves, and now we haven't, Suave. I'm just kidding.
Well, I'm going to be.
I was buying it.
I've been in movies for a long time. They haven't actually been recorded. Nobody was actually pressing the record button and filming it. But
I was just commenting that it's nice to hear how actors you know, when you're in the thick of doing that job,
Yes.
and you're that's your living and what you do for your livelihood, it's always fun to hear the takeaway. What are the conversations actors have amongst themselves about being in stuff? And I love that you just said, you know, when you're in something, you take away. Well, I learned this when I was with this person, and that when I was, you know, in that movie, and I got that from that actor, and it's a very cool. I was just teasing. Suave might really be in movies. What do I know?
I have a good question for you. Tell me about the person. So this is something I've always wondered. When you have the kissing scene in a movie,
Yes.
what happens if the guy you're kissing is like a smelly guy? What happens?
Ooh, that's a good
And
one.
how do they
I like
prevent that? Is
Yes.
there like a rule? Like, do they have rules and say, look, before we start this, you must have like a tic tac or something? Like, is there a tic tac rule? Is there?
I like
I've
that.
always
Everybody
wondered.
always does the mint breast spray thing. I mean, I think pretty much when I was younger and I did soap, you had like some guys that you had to kiss that were kind of full of themselves, and I would say that's harder than overcoming other things.
Because I could imagine the guys who are like really the ones that are just so big time. I refuse to get spray in my mouth. They would be lucky to smell my onions. You know, like.
You can tell that Suave is a true recording artist because he already thinks like
I'm just thinking about all the. I've always
movie.
wondered these things. Like, what do they do? There's got to be something. You know, what is there a rule? Is there a sign that says, okay, in 5 minutes you're gonna do, and they're actually gonna like you must do it. It's part of her contract if you don't do it.
No, but it's a common courtesy thing. And,
Okay.
And here's my thing. When I act, I've had all this technique training and everything, and then I studied with Margie Haber years ago. And so when I act, I live the part of the character. So if I'm in that frame of mind and I'm living the part of the character, then I'm not judging anything around me.
Gotcha.
So that's the difference, is I'm actually in that moment at that time and I actually have the feelings and stuff that I've created in that film with that character.
Right.
I think it would be part of my rider. I would have a rider that says, if I'm going to do a kissing, so any scenes that are close, you must have like
Yeah,
Tic Tacs.
that is all right. So we know where Suave's going with his rider.
Spray them down with Lysol.
Right. They have to smell good.
Right.
I mean, it's.
Tracy, so it was amazing having you on the show today, and I greatly appreciate you taking the time to come and chat with Suave and myself.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And anywhere on social media that you want anyone to check you out, Twitter, Instagram.
Sure. It starts at Husay. So it's husay.com/Tracy Birdsall.
Okay.
Twitter's Tracy Birdsall 1. Facebook is Tracy Birdsall Official. Instagram is Tracy Birdsall1 and Pinterest is Tracy Birdsall1, which is also where I put all the folders of all the projects I'm working on and all the news that's related to that.
Nice.
Wow, so Pinterest is a good place to find you.
It's my organizational system.
Very nice.
So every movie has a folder, and when an article comes out, or like when this comes out, I'll post it to there, and then it's really good on a Google search because then it pops up over and over, and that's why I like Pinterest.
Wow, I totally learned something new. Thank you. I'm going to now open up a Pinterest account, where before I thought it was only for decorators and foodies. Well, I am a foodie.
I never look at what anybody else does. I use it like my publicist gets all these gigs lined up, and I use it as the outlet for that because it puts it at the top of the Google ranking.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Tracy, again, thank you so much for doing this with us today.
Yeah,
we loved having you.
Pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you. And
Nice to meet you.
I would like to say mahalo.
Mahalo. Ciao.
Okay, bye. Mwah.
Bye.
That was great. I loved meeting her.
Wow,
She
can I tell you
was so
something?
cool.
She was really cool. She's
Just
a
like the
beautiful
pool.
girl, and it's
Yes.
amazing that those girls are actually real. Like, guys actually don't believe that people really exist because they're only in magazines and on movies or on, what's that?
Where
soap
did she
opera?
say the movie was? What's Jenna? Where's Jenna?
Bruce Jenner, what's Jenna?
We'll have to look for it.
Yes, and then Road Warrior or something like that, right?
Oh yeah, something like that.
But I got a
starring in
Pinterest.
both of them.
Absolutely.
We're checking her out on Pinterest.
checking her out.
Okay.
We should get Bobby Henline in her movie.
I know, we should.
That'd be awesome.
That would be really cool to connect them.
Oh my God.
But maybe, now that she's looked him up and from our show,
She
you
might
never
do it
know.
on her own.
So our next guest is Miles Dulac. And he is I literally have to read this. He is
Important.
aside from being an actor, he's a producer, he's a director, he's a writer, and he is a teacher. So I understand he has a lot of ancient history degrees, and I'm curious to hear about those and to hear about where his latest projects are.
agree.
So I wonder if we could get Miles on the line.
We're still waiting for Miles to accept our request.
Well, I will tell you this.
Miles
we
is
can talk
a
about
busy guy.
your ancient history,
Okay.
because I'm sure you have ancient history.
I do, and I talked all about it in my outfit.
Grills, there you go.
Woo!
So now the real story was,
Yeah.
tell me the real story of the fringe outfit. What
Oh no,
happened
I
at the
really
end of that fight?
was it. I really don't know. I poured the beer on him. Other people got involved in the fight that I was friends with, and I don't know if he left. He might have left because I think he went to a
Did you
different
guys
college.
meet later on?
No, I never saw him again. After that white boot fringe incident, I also never wore white fringe boots again.
I see.
So that was kind of like the end of that, though.
Wow.
But I'm wondering how long do we want to wait for Miles? Because sometimes people get held up and they're not able to do the
Traffic.
show, and we can have him on another day. Even though I was curious to hear about his PhD from Tulane
Very interesting.
in ancient history.
I think I have a PhD.
Oh, you do? Wow, Suave, you never told me.
Well, the reality is the PhD from where I come from means a pop has a dealership.
Oh, okay.
PhD, pop
Okay.
has dealer. And apparently
Pop
I
has
know
dealer.
a couple of people in the
Wait,
past.
Pop has dealer like a dad pop?
Like your dad is the owner of a dealership and you get to take over it.
Oh, like
Run it.
cars?
Yes, cars,
Oh,
yeah.
see, it's like a whole language I'm learning
PhD,
now.
that's
Okay.
what a PhD is.
Okay.
Pop has
Do you
dealer.
have that?
My pop didn't have a dealer.
Okay.
If he was, he probably wasn't dealing with the things I'd want him to deal.
Right. It's always like that, isn't it?
It always is.
You know what? Why don't we talk about a little bit about our sponsor?
Okay, let's do it.
And I think that Miles maybe will join us on another
Yes.
show.
Sounds good.
Another episode of The Cooler. So today's sponsor is Truth and Life Fitness, rather. And I don't know if they were going to Skype in today. Okay, so they are.
Let's speak to them.
But yes, let's have a little conversation with them.
Speaking of truth and life and fitness,
Yes.
I truthfully, in my life,
Yes.
want to become more active in fitness.
Oh, so
I'm
this
just
might
having
be
a
the
challenge with it.
Okay, so this company might be
Yes.
the kind of company that you need to
So if
speak
you're
to.
listening and watching, guys, you need to
Hey,
listen.
how's
to
it
Truth,
going?
Life and fitness. Here we go.
Woo! You guys, thank you so much for sponsoring today's episode. We love it. And Suave wants to become a fitness expert.
I do.
Hey, well, you know what? You can come on right here down to Lynchburg, Virginia. We'll get you in shape, man. We'll do what we got to do.
Wow, I hear a lot of good things about that place. Now, let me ask you, there's three of you guys over there. Which one of you is truth? Which one of you is life? And which one is fitness?
He can be the life. I think and I'm the fitness guy.
There you go.
Sir.
There you go.
So what is the key to being fit?
Well, there's several aspects to being fit. We've got spiritual fitness, we've got physical fitness,
spiritual fitness.
We've got being fit in leadership. So there's all different areas,
So-
they're different.
So you guys encompass all of those areas, not just like pressing weights.
That's correct.
What?
We want to work in all aspects of everybody's life because fitness, that's good to an extent, but if you don't have the right spiritual aspect, the right mental aspect to go about your life, then the fitness doesn't really play a big part.
Right.
Because, it's good to be healthy and all that, but there's much more to life than just how much you can push up on a bench.
I totally agree. Tell me more about that spiritual fitness. That's something that totally, you just hit a chord, and I'm thinking to myself, that's absolutely what I think a lot of the world is missing. Spiritual fitness is something a lot more greater than just going to a gym and working out for an hour.
Of course, like when you're lifting and everything, you feel better about yourself. It's just like, especially when you're being more fit, you look better, you feel better. But when you have that spiritual fitness about yourself, like I was just telling these guys right here, when I go to church and I leave church, I feel spiritual uplifting. I feel that I'm living the right way, that it's just the best feeling that I've ever encountered in my life. But it's almost, you can't put it into words.
Can I ask you guys a question? Do you have, is Virginia the only place where we can find your business? Do you have other locations rather?
Well, Virginia right now in Lynchburg is primarily where we're headquartered.
Okay.
The goal is to build several different gyms and facilities, all throughout, continental U.S. I lived in Hawaii for a little bit, so we're trying to get people in Hawaii. We're trying to reach there. Pretty much just all throughout the world. Anywhere where people want to be fit, that's where we want to go. And again, that fitness is all different areas. We want to get into life coaching, fitness consulting, a lot of different areas.
Wavi is signing up.
You got me all hook, line, and sinker right now. Let me ask you, where'd you get the vision for this? Like, this is a different type of a fitness and anything I've ever heard of before. It's very intriguing.
Yes, I agree.
Me and Denzel are the co-founders, and one night we was at this Bible study at this other organization, and we just left there not feeling like it was done the correct way because this organization didn't have the Christian label behind the fitness organization. But we just left and we was like, how about we start our own thing and develop men and women physically and spiritually by spreading the love of Jesus Christ one rep one day at a time. And we just kind of threw out some ideas here and there and just had a vision to develop something more greater than just the average day gym, the average day fitness organization to help people not just in the gym like we mentioned before, but to help them in life, just help those lost people that just need Jesus, that need fitness, that just whatever the case may be, we want to be there.
That is really awesome.
It really is.
And I'm so happy you guys were able to join us today and talk to us about Truth and Life Fitness. And can you tell us how to find your business for people in Virginia and or online on social media? Just give us the rundown.
Yeah. So we also have a YouTube channel. Because we use social media as the main catalyst for people to be able to reach out to us, contact us. We each have our own individual accounts. This is Denzel Jones, Vincent Clark, and I'm Logan Arthur.
Okay. Hey, Logan.
Hey.
We spoke on the phone.
But we have Facebook. That's going to be www.facebook.com/Truth and Life Fitness. And then you just send us a friend request because we did have our own account that you can find us at. And then, as you can see on, you have our @name for Twitter.
Yes, we do.
That's our Twitter account.
Okay.
That we use that. And then Instagram, we also have Instagram. That is @Truth and Life Fitness.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for being with us today.
Yes, thank you. Thank you
And-
for sponsoring the show. And
Yes.
absolutely for just giving people something else to consider other than working out. Because I
Yes.
know how hard it is. I think the world needs to be more fitness involved. And for you to be bringing the word and for you to be bringing spirituality to it, it's unbelievable. Great job, boys. And I'll tell you, it's something to be proud of because
Yes, it is. And I would
I almost
offer you
want to
guys.
go to Virginia and live there now.
Right. No, I think Suave might move there. I would offer you guys a cookie, but you're healthy.
Yes.
So you're not allowed to have one. Sorry.
We allow ourselves a cookie or two.
Okay.
There you go.
All right, so maybe I'll send you guys some. But thank you again for being with us, and thank you again for talking to us all about your business,
Amazing.
and for Skyping in with us, and for sponsoring this episode of The Cooler.
All right, God bless.
Thank you, guys.
Bless
Take
you.
care,
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Live life, stay fit.
Okay, I will. I'll work on that.
Great guys.
They were awesome.
Like that was exactly completely the opposite of what I expected.
Really? Yeah. No, I kind of knew because they were sponsoring the episode what they were about, but I didn't realize they were based in Virginia. That's the one thing. So anyone watching who's in Virginia, run, don't walk.
Yes.
To Truth, Life, and Fitness.
And if there's a red light or a stop sign, go through it. Just get right there
Right.
right now and start working out.
So Suave, I guess we'll have to have Miles on the show another time.
We will.
But
miles down the road.
Yes, exactly. Ha 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 ha. But I just want to know to end the show. Do you want to like take us out on a song? I'll sing it with
Oh
you.
man. Well, I could
do you
just
got?
tell
What do
you
you got up
that
your sleeve?
life is all about a song. No, we are new stuff coming out. Very excited about it.
Okay.
You can find me everywhere, and I kind of got everything under one name, so that
Ooh, I like that. Let's hear
because
it.
then you don't have to think about it. It's
Right.
Go Suave. So
Go Suave.
GOSOAVE, like the white wine.
Very good.
Hence, I'm trying to get that sponsorship. Remember, I said it.
Yes.
But yeah, GoSuave.com, Go Suave on Facebook, Go Suave on Twitter, Go Suave on Instagram, and
I love that you have one name.
yeah, it's
Go Suave.
It's just what it's all about. You kind of have
Yep.
to have everything just pointing in one direction.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Yeah.
And it was amazing to have you as my guest co-host today.
Thank you again.
That was awesome. I don't know, since you're
The last time we were together, we were having cookies as well.
That's true. You can tell I like to eat and I don't like to do fitness.
Yes. So I am on
So
a
you
diet,
can have
but
one.
I'll grab this.
Okay,
and
you
I'll-
could save
I'll
it for
smell
one of your 18 children.
There you go. I have a whole bunch.
Wait, he can't
it
get
out.
it. I'll have to give it to him. Okay,
Thank you,
here you
darling.
go.
Thank you.
Anyway, Suave, thank you. You guys, thank you so much. You guys out there in viewer land, thank you so much for being with us today and with our amazing guests. And it was a real spiritual show. This is Rebecca Berman
Suave.
saying goodbye with Suave from my show, The Cooler. Mwah!
One love, yo.